Hey, so welcome everybody. Episode 2. We're excited to be back. We want to remind you, hit that like and subscribe. We're still getting new to this, we're still learning, but we're glad you're back for episode 2. We do have Fidel in for this episode. So let's kick it away to you, man. Welcome.
All
We
right,
missed you
Fidel,
last time.
welcome.
Yes, welcome.
All right,
Glad,
thank you guys.
glad everything worked out, man.
Thank you for carrying the podcast last week while I was absent. As I said, my name is Fidel. I am a huge sports fan. Support the Chargers, Dodgers. Love to watch some soccer, especially Liverpool Football Club. I've known these guys for quite a bit, especially John. I've known John since we were in elementary school.
Yeah, since we were kids.
Yeah, been a long time.
Yeah.
Known Tim for a while too. Probably since he was in high school and I was early 20s.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
5-year age gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finishing up high school when I met you guys.
Then
Yep.
Then I got to meet Daniel through a mutual friend, Andy, a few years back.
Dandy.
Good old Andy.
Right,
Good old
good old Andy.
teammates.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our fantasy league name is Dandy.
Mhm.
So co-owners.
Yeah.
So, well,
Mhm.
but awesome. Welcome, Fidel. No, we're happy you're here. Getting it started
Thank
with
you, thank
us.
you.
This all came in creation with all 4 of us. So like we discussed last week. So good to have the whole crew here to start. But we'll get it right into our episode. And I think one of the first topics, we saw the announcements. We're all gamers here. We all like video games, and Madden was one of the big ones. And we got the cover, artist, and that's CMC. So when that always comes out, the big discussion is Madden Curse. Do you guys believe in the Madden Curse? What's your guys' take on this?
Yeah. I mean, I think I have for the longest time. I think that's why I'm so nervous this year. CMC's, known to be injured in the past. Phenomenal talent, but those injuries derail, not only the team, but anybody who has them in fantasy. There's huge implications always. So everybody's going to be on guard, I think, a little bit this year, even though I think over the last several seasons that there has been kind of a breakage in the Madden Curse overall. I think it's kind of less of a topic than it was before. But I think it's interesting to at least discuss and see if it'll come back, God forbid. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I hope it doesn't come back, right? I think that's I don't want to wish any injuries on anybody, right? Or hope that anyone gets hurt. I think that's the main thing, right? And I'm not a big fan of the Niners, but again, I would hate to see someone get hurt or be cursed, right? But do I believe in it? Just a little bit, yeah. But do I hope someone gets injured, or do I hope that curse comes to fruition? No, not at all, man. So that's my take on that.
Yeah. And I think, I think everybody doesn't hope someone gets hurt with this Madden Curse. I think some of the few years before that, it wasn't really injuries. It was more just bad stats, bad seasons. I looked it up because I was like, let me look at some research. And, Fox Sports reports that the last real curse was AB back in 2019, I think it was. So, he had a pretty bad year. The one before that was 17 with Gronk, where he only played 6 games. So, Gronk being a cover artist and only playing 6 games for your team. Yeah, I would see that as a curse. But, we've had Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes twice, Lamar Jackson. They've all done pretty well. They've made it to the playoffs. And, I think that's success, if you can take your team to the playoffs.
As far as the Madden Curse, as of more recently, I'm not a big believer of it. I'm more of a believer of that. As we were talking earlier, the curse of being the projected #1 overall fantasy pick. I feel like that's a more prevalent curse now. It took over for the place of the Madden Curse.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as of now, CMC is also projected to be #1 in fantasy.
Sounds like the perfect storm.
Of course, we don't want anyone to get hurt.
Right.
So, but that curse is more prevalent, like I said. And look at last year, Jefferson missed a bunch of games, and then the year before that, Jonathan Taylor missed a bunch of games.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, before that it was CMC, and and he was out pretty much the whole season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, wasn't a great season. I think it was a double injury season. I know we were kind of discussing earlier. I think it was that year where he got injured in Houston, and a little bit after that he got re-injured in Miami, I think like week 11 or 12, and then they
Yeah.
just called it a season, and that was that. It's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you guys saw it either, but that little, I guess, Madden preview where they, kind of hint at who it could be. The lighting seemed to be kind of orange, and my guess right off the bat was Joe Burrow. And, maybe a comeback season, maybe reverse Madden curse,
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys saw that or if you guys kind of thought the same or differently.
I didn't see the video, but it makes sense.
Okay.
He had a bad season last year, so possibly a comeback. I think that's something maybe we could look into for just a little news snippet for one of our next episodes. Like, those Madden covers when they had a bad season, did the following year have did they come back or even have even a better season? Because if that's the case, that could help for fantasy too. CMC may have a bad
100%.
year this year, but next year he may bounce back and.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt. Thoughts and prayers, hopefully.
Yeah, that's your team, man. So
Yeah. Nervous wreck over here.
How do you feel, Tim?
Yeah,
Like I say, when it's your team, does it just feel?
Yeah, like we've kind of all said, it seems to be a little bit less relevant than it once was. But at the same thing, same time, everybody still kind of talks about it here and there. Kind of always in the back of your mind. I think injuries are always in the back of your mind when it comes to
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey. He just handles the ball so much. He's, we as a team we rely on him so much. I know Carolina did the same exact thing, whether it's the run game or the pass game. He just handles the rock so often that it's always a fear. It's like one ugly looking tackle, one playing at MetLife, you catch a bad piece of turf and you're done for. So that's what's brutal. But yeah, no, absolutely, always in our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think as far as Trent Williams stays healthy, you guys will go far. If
Yeah.
Trent Williams goes down, then
yeah, that guy's
struggle.
a big leader on that team, man. Trent Williams, I feel like is like the chief of many feathers, right? Aside from the coach and everybody else, that guy brings so much great energy to the team, man. So I agree with Fidel.
Yeah, absolutely. Him and Debo leading out the locker room with the boombox. Hey
Boombox.
Niners, if you guys want to
Yeah.
hire a boombox guy, I can lift a little. I'd love to do it.
I'd love
but,
to see
it's
that
always...
day, man.
Didn't you guys
that's my sole job.
struggle last year when the few games he was out with his injuries?
We did, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of O-line issues. Hopefully this season's a little bit better, revamped, and Trent Williams is back to being healthy again. But yeah, high hopes, hopefully, no injury woes, and protect not only CMC but Purdy and let him have a great season too.
Right.
Yeah. Next topic, we wanted to sort of discuss is Jerry West. We heard the news of him passing away at the age of 86. He was the logo, of the NBA. So what are you guys' thoughts? What he brought to the game?
All right. First of all, I want to say rest in peace, Jerry West. I personally think, as a player and as like executive and everything he did behind the scenes, in my opinion, at least, he's probably the most important person in the history of the NBA. Because not only did he do so much as a player, player-wise, making so many finals, and unfortunately having to lose to the Celtics so many times, and like he was the only person that did win the MVP as on the losing team. Averages, I believe, was like 37.9 points.
Yeah.
And then he eventually won it as a player, which is good. And then as an executive and a GM, he definitely helped build those Showtime Lakers, as everyone knows. And then he had the scouting and, I guess, player management wise to draft Kobe and sign Shaq all in the same offseason.
Yeah.
Helped the Lakers rebuild for those late 90s, early 2000s runs.
I have some statistics to kind of tag along to what Fidel's mentioning here,
Yeah.
and what a pivotal role he played for the growth of the NBA and all the talent in it. As a player, I have him averaging 27 points a game, 6.7 assists a game. As a player, he won 1 title, and as an executive, he has 8.
Yeah.
He's a 14-time All-Star, 10-time All NBA first team, 4-time All Defensive NBA. And what, in the modern, sports era here, something that we really never see, he won an NBA Finals on the losing team. It's just his numbers were so great. He was so pivotal, just to his team throughout that finals. Just an unbelievable talent. Obviously he's the logo. I know the NBA never really admitted to him being it, but it didn't, kind of the character of him and who he was, it didn't seem like he ever really cared. It just wasn't a factor where, he had to be named that at all. But, more power to him. Just seems to be such a true gentleman and,
Yeah.
good guy, obviously just a genius when it comes to basketball.
And kind of to that, Tim, I think an important part we're missing is that the rules now are significantly different than they were in his era. It's more of a dog eat dog world back then, right? Where it's more push come to shove, and it's a lot more physical than what it is now, right? So to hear those stats and to hear what he achieved during his time is just incredible, man. And again, I'm just getting into the NBA scene, so I don't know too much about Jerry West, but you just speaking that and me knowing that brief knowledge says a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to tag along with that too, like I was kind of looking at some Jerry West highlights, from back in the day, and he was just so far beyond his era. Like, he would, shoot off the dribble, whereas, a lot of players were still dribbling directly over the ball at that time. But this guy he was doing crossovers, he's doing quick jump shots. He was just an incredible athlete for his era. So really set a good precedent there.
Yeah. And for me, like the one thing I see a lot, like I'd always know about Jerry West, but as like that front office person, he did so much for so many teams to really bring him out from nowhere. Me as a Clipper fan, once he came to the Clippers and Lakers didn't want him, I was stoked about it. And he has changed our club for just a lot better. Yeah, we haven't won a championship, but we're getting close. Like we have the pieces. Him being that consultant with Frank Vogel, like it's really helped the Clippers. And one of the things I remember is, he consulted the Warriors. He was a consultant for the Warriors, and he's the one that kept Clay, because I think weren't the Warriors wanting to get Kevin Love from Minnesota?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They sure were. And that's a great point, John. How can I forget, he was such a pivotal role in just revolutionizing our team from getting, deep playoff runs to actually winning championships. And, God, I mean, just the team he amassed and, the core players that we've had to this day from him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you think about it, like, Kevin Love, when he was traded, I think it was Cleveland that gave up so much for him. Now, imagine the Warriors, everything they might have had to give up, and that could have been so many championships. That would have been maybe KD not coming during that offseason. So it's like his mindset, the way he thinks, he could bring players to a team. So rest in peace. It's a big loss to the NBA community, but he's changed a lot
Absolutely.
of stuff.
One other point to that. Oh yeah, no kidding. One other point to that, John, was I'm an avid listener of the Dan Patrick Show, and a big thing that he talked about this week with the death of Jerry West was, if as a GM, if you get a call from Jerry West, you don't answer it because that guy's about to tear you a new one on some trades there. So yeah, he's just a guru. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And with Jerry Westing, the one question I sort of wanted to ask is, you mentioned it, Tim. He never really acknowledged that he was a logo. I think everybody that knows NBA knows he's a logo, but he never really cared. I don't think he would have cared if the NBA decided to change it. But what do you guys think? Should the logo stay Jerry West, or should it, eventually be changed? Because it's something I always think about. Can they always change it? Should it just stay the same? From from when it started?
if it ain't broke, don't fix it is my motto, right? And for this guy, based off what you guys just told me, I'm just learning a lot here in regards to the NBA side of it, right? I think he's a perfect man for it. Why change it, right? Um, I mean, maybe do like a remix of the logo, like to honor Kobe one time, or or all the other legends that have contributed, to the sport. But as of now, just leave it, right? And maybe do like a special logo for Kobe Day or whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah, you hit it on it there, Daniel. The only other person I've ever thought of that would be, deserving of something, unfortunately due to tragedy would be Kobe Bryant. He's the only other, player I've really thought of, as a possible logo. I know it was a big talk, after he passed. So yeah, you bring up a good point there, but you're right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a logo we all know and, remember. So.
I think it just stayed the same. Yeah, no need to change it, man.
Yeah.
The guy deserves it for everything he did, like on the court, off the court. Guy's a humble guy. Just keep it that way. No need to give one of these other superstar divas anymore logos. They already use your logos for their shoes, So no more
Yeah.
logos,
No,
So you're saying 80 mil is not enough a year?
No, no.
I've always thought about it because, like I said, when they brought up Kobe, that's the one person I was like, maybe it could be a good time to change it. But then I think about the future, like in 30, 40 years, there's going to be another transcendent player, like LeBron, like Kobe, like MJ, like Jerry West, like all these players that could be so willing to be the logo, but it's like, it just takes away of the game. So, finding other ways to honor those legends, like with Kobe, I think he has the All-Stars MVP award is named after him now. I think, they created that for him. So it's like, yeah, I think that's the way to honor all these other like legends that are from the past and even in the future. Cause like I say, LeBron's one that, I think we have some friends that don't really like LeBron, but you can't take anything away from what LeBron's done. Just the way you can't take this away from Jerry West. He's done so much.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of LeBron from what I've seen, but like you said, you can't take away from his glory, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So respect is given where respect is due, and that he has. Am I head over heels for him? Not really, but the respect is there,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. One thing I always kind of go back to with LeBron is, the guy's had next to no off-court issues, in my opinion.
Mhm.
He's kind of leading by a great example. He has a great family. His son's prepping for the NBA as well. He opened up a school. I feel like he does a lot of community work. Steph Curry's another great example of that too. But he kind of, in the talks of greatest of all time, I think he's a great example of, somebody who has really helped the NBA just, much like Jerry West. So,
and the
yeah.
community, as you
Yep,
mentioned.
100%.
That's where a big portion of my respect lies. He's trying to help everyone around him.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I always say on the court I hate him, but off the court he seems like, a really good human being. So
He's a good guy.
Yep. Especially going back to that 3-1 series,
Yeah.
losing.
Yeah.
What was it, that chase down block on who was it again?
Iguodala.
Yeah.
Iguodala. Give me Iguodala.
Yeah.
Game's on the line. Give me Iggy.
But yeah.
Shout out Max Kellerman. Yeah.
So Fidel and I are caught in this little controversy, right? And so he thinks, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say controversy, man. Let's I really would like to hear what our listeners think and what you guys think here. So he thinks that regardless of whatever quarterback's in place, that a wide receiver is going to flourish in that environment. And my thing was, if you don't have a good quarterback and you can be the best wide receiver in the league, you're not going to be successful. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
For me, it's
Same.
50-50. You know, like I say, when we go through our rankings a little later on, you'll see where I have, because I think the one person we're talking about is Jay Jettis, Minnesota,
Yeah.
brand new rookie quarterback. So it's like, how do you rank that type of player, with an unknown NFL quarterback? So, but it's a hard one always.
Yeah, and we were going back and forth with like the whole Garrett Wilson situation, right? Great wide receiver, but has had nothing but not so great quarterbacks behind him throwing the ball. And I feel like he's being snubbed a little bit on what he can actually do because of that situation, that quarterback situation. And I'm not going to fault the quarterback entirely, right? That O line too is not the best, but
Like, say his name. Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
But I think one thing with
Prodigy in
that I
Denver.
would say, the one thing I would say with Garrett Wilson is, I think he's been a beast with the bad quarterbacks. He's been doing awesome. So it's like he doesn't need, that Tom Brady, those top quarterbacks. He's done it with Zach Wilson. He's done it with backups, and fantasy wise, he gets the numbers. Like I say, he's going to be a top wide receiver no matter who's throwing to him, I think. So it just depends on the type of player,
So to kind of tag along with that too, you bring up people like Andre Johnson. I don't know how much we want to talk about Matt Schwab as a quarterback, but kind of average, but he had Hall of Fame numbers. Another one would be what Calvin Johnson, that guy went through, bad quarterback after bad quarterback, and easy Hall of Fame, set records for receiving yards. Another one would be Josh Gordon. I know he's kind of a one or two hit wonder, an amazing talent, but again, really bad quarterbacks. But it takes being down in games also, I think, get a lot of junk time, yardage, things like that will also help, and always needing to pass when, you have a bad quarterback, you're most likely going to be down in games. So throwing more, creates a little bit more opportunity. So, I still have, Jetta's pretty high up on the totem pole there. The only thing that concerns me too is he's been paid. I know he seems like, the guy to, get down to it and still, really try. But, a lot of times these players get these humongous contracts and, they're like, oh, okay, I made it, let's try to stay healthy and, just kind of coast through. But just my feelings on it.
Yeah, if Tim said, if he doesn't let the new money get to his head, I think he'll still be putting up the numbers. Because I mean, to me personally, receiving wise, he's probably on his own level. Maybe him and Tyreek because of Tyreek's speed, and then after that you get the second tier like Chase, and then a couple other guys. But yeah, Tyreek and Jettas are definitely on their own level. They can make the plays that they have to make when they need to. And as far as Garrett Wilson saying, yeah, he does put up good yards with those not so great quarterbacks. The only issue he's had with the not so great quarterback is lack of touchdowns. I think last year he had maybe 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said.
But then Brees Hall is a monster too, though.
Yeah, he vultured all those red zone touchdowns. Yeah, but
he did.
I hated him for that, but good job, Brees Hall. But
and as far as I heard right now, Sam Darnold's supposed to be the starter. That's how it's looking. But we still have 2.5 months. We'll see what happens there. Maybe it'll be Darnold. Maybe it'll be little JJ, right? Being the quarterback. Maybe JJ to J Jettas. You never know. It could work.
49er great. Sam Darnold. Can't wait to see it.
As long as he's not seeing ghosts out there anymore, man.
He did good. He played, I think, 1 or 2 games right before the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
and he did well. He did well, if I remember correctly.
He came in for us when we were down terribly to the Ravens. And I remember he threw a pick in the end zone, but he was kind of marching up the field a little bit better than what Brock was doing. But Sam Darnold still kind of showed Sam Darnold things. I just think he's kind of dealt a bad hand being picked so high. you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
But we'll see. You know, maybe he'll do really well. Indoor stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Next news wise, NBA Finals. Going to game 5 tomorrow. What are you guys' thoughts on the finals?
I wish it was not a sweep. I feel like it's going to be a sweep. And
Dallas won.
Yeah, Dallas won the other day.
That was
Oh,
one,
they
so it's not
did?
a sweep. Yeah.
oh, so I'm sleeping on it, man.
Sweep averted.
My bad. My bad. I knew I missed a
Rewind.
game somewhere, man. I knew I missed a game, but you know,
Your laptop's in the future, you're in the past.
I'm in the past.
Can't wait for game 4, guys.
I'm hoping the Celtics win, and it hurts me to say that, being an LA guy or Laker fan, if you want to call it that. I'm still kind of adjusting. I don't even call myself a Laker fan, but I'll go with the home team
Mhm.
until I think Fidel. We said we're gonna wait, hopefully, for an expansion, right,
Right,
before we
yeah.
jump on the team.
Hopefully, Seattle or a Vegas team, and then
Yeah.
we'll
So we're gonna
follow
wait for that. We won't jump on the Lakers just yet. But no, I hope the Celtics take it. I hear Tatum's name a lot, you know, and I feel like that guy just deserves the title or ring, you know, and
Mhm.
take it home. And I know John, you're rooting for them too, right? The Celtics.
You could say I'm rooting for them, but it's more
Not by
through-
choice.
Not by choice. It's through marriage. So, like I say, as a married man to a diehard Boston sports fan, anytime they're in the final and my team isn't in there, you know, we gotta root for them. So, I think they'll close it out Monday. You know, Vera said that they lost, you know, game 4 because they wanted to close it out at home. I think she mentioned or tweeted something that's like Boston Day or something on Monday. So it's a big day in Boston tomorrow. So for them to win it there, it's gonna make it sweet. Um, I don't know if the Mavericks can make a full comeback. That's really hard. You know, I think Luca, he can maybe get one more game, but after that, I think he's just gonna run out of energy. Kyrie, I think going back to Boston, Kyrie's gonna crack, but who knows? Like I say, but my thoughts, I think Celtics win it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping just for the entertainment purpose that the Mavs run it and you know, come back, win it in 7. You know, it's same thing with Edmonton against Florida. You know, that's another one where they won like 8-1, you know, to make it a 3-1 series there also.
Yeah.
Dallas won in a blowout game. So, you know, hey, let's get a vibe going. Let's see comebacks in both series, make it entertaining. You know, but to your guys' point, you know, there's just a lot more pieces with the Celtics. We'll see if Porzingis is able to make it back at all.
Yeah.
But you know, Doncic dealing with injuries. You know, I haven't loved to see how much he's going at it with the refs.
Yeah.
You know, he's just got to put himself in a little bit better
Yeah.
positions. You know, it's cool to see Kyrie kind of reinvigorate his career with Dallas as well, though. But you know, for entertainment purposes, Dallas in 7. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, as far as the NBA Finals, yeah, I'll say Celtics probably win in 6. I have a feeling the Mavs will pull it out on Monday. And as far as Tim mentioning the old Stanley Cup Finals over there, what a good moment it would be for Tatum and his good old pal Matthew Tkachuk to both win championships
Yep.
same year around the same time.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice
Yeah,
thing
keep
right
on-
there. Let them celebrate.
Yeah.
Probably go out and do some wild things, you know, extracurriculars at nighttime.
I keep on seeing pictures of them, you know, from
Right.
being little kids. So yeah, that'd be awesome to see, you know,
Mhm.
two childhood
They're like
friends
childhood
winning it.
friends.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. It was just like that one year when the Rams won the Super Bowl and Dodgers won the World Series.
Right?
Good old Kershaw Stafford
Yeah,
Link.
Kershaw Stafford.
from back in their days of high school baseball.
Both St. Louis natives, right? I
I
believe.
think so.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Actually,
is
I
it
think they're from
Dallas?
Dallas, yeah.
Yeah.
They're from
Kershaw
I thought it was
was
St.
Dallas.
Louis.
I'm pretty sure it's Dallas.
Oh,
I
okay.
know somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, you're actually right. You're right. The Kershaw, yeah, Texas.
Oh, but for Tatum and Kutcher.
Oh yeah,
But-
Tatum and Kachuk is St.
Yeah.
Louis. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's cool though. Always
Yeah,
cool
right.
to see.
Especially what especially with the Panthers, they lost last year in the finals to the Knights. It'd be a nice little redemption for them
Yeah.
to win it the following.
Absolutely.
They're leading the series right now, right? I think 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. They're
Mhm.
both
Yeah.
Celtics and Panthers are 3-1.
And when's the next game for the Panthers?
That's
Good
Tuesday.
question.
I think it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it might be Tuesday. I think
Maybe Tuesday.
they're
Yeah.
like alternating with NBA, right?
Yeah, they're probably staggering them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but hopefully comebacks for both series. Entertainment
Yeah.
purposes. Let's keep
Yeah.
it going.
Right.
Keep
Because
keep the
or else
sports talk
after that we're
going.
just stuck with baseball.
Yeah.
After that, we'll only have baseball for till football season.
Yeah.
hmm
Did you
Right.
guys watch the UFL championship?
That blowout.
It was a boring game, man. Oh man. The Stallions won it again this year. It's
Oh wow.
I was man at like third quarter. I was like, all right, I'm ready to do laundry or something. 'Cause this is
I
out
feel
of
like we'd really
control.
tried to get into it, but
It's
It
hard.
I
just
don't know.
wasn't there.
Nah,
Yeah. Maybe next season. I don't know.
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Other news, Copa America versus Euros. That Euro started. Copa America starts, I think, this week, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's coming
Thursday,
up this
I think,
week.
right?
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Like, what do you guys think is better, and who do you guys think is going to win each of the tournaments?
As far as the Copa America, I think Argentina will probably take it because in my mind, at least Argentina and Brazil are the favorites, and Brazil didn't look too sharp during their like games leading up to the start of it. But Argentina will probably take it because, like, if it's not either them two, who else will it be, right?
Colombia played really well against the US on their friendly match. They were just killing it. And they also have, I think, 8 Euro soccer players
Mhm.
on their squad this tournament, which is actually really good, right?
Yeah.
Because they get that exposure of
I mean,
playing, right? So
yeah, I think Uruguay looked pretty good too, leading up to like these games leading up to the Copa America. So
Mhm.
who knows how they'll do? I just know that as a Liverpool fan, their striker Darwin Nunez is good, but he's a little inconsistent at times.
Yeah.
this
Or
is
has
that young guy, right?
or has the misfortune of hitting the post more than he does. Yeah. I
It's
think
tougher to do, Fidel.
I think out of the games I saw last year, he probably hit the post a good 6 to 7 times instead
Yeah.
of making the goal. But he's still a solid player, still young, so he has a room to improve.
Did you guys see what the for the Euro Cup? Did you guys see what the Albanian fans are doing to the Italians?
Oh
I saw
yeah,
that.
They were breaking spaghetti.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
breaking
yeah.
spaghetti in front of the throwing it in the air.
That's just an
I was
insult
like,
right
oh
there.
man, I love it. Yeah, I love it, man. But
That's
good.
I've been watching a couple of those matches. They're pretty good.
right. Yeah, they are.
I watched England and I think it was Serbia
Yeah, it
earlier
was today.
today. Yeah, that was a
Mhm.
good match. Back and forth. They ended up tying. Oh no, England won. Yeah,
Yeah, it
was
it
England.
was 1-0.
And then there was one this morning, Slovenia and can't remember the other team, but they tied 1-1. That was also a great match.
I think it was Denmark.
Denmark, yeah,
Denmark? I think it
Slovenia
was
and Denmark, yeah.
Yeah.
Both really good games. I love Euro soccer. I love their style of play. I feel like it's a lot quicker game than what it is out here. So it's a lot more entertaining in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the Albania Italy matchup, I was watching the game yesterday, and Albania scored the quickest goal in Euro Cup history yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it was like 21 or 22 seconds into the
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
I missed that one.
A big mistake from Italy, that throw in.
Oh yeah, big time.
No, but for me, I've always liked the Euros better just because quality of players. They just have a lot better quality of players that play, for the international. But Copa America, I think it's pretty similar because they have a good amount of quality players of like just based on the region. So, but Euros, I have England winning it. I say I have England winning the Euros. That's my prediction. And Copa America, yeah, Argentina. I think it's Argentina, Brazil, and then I'm always gonna have a spot for USA. Make that comeback, be that surprise team.
Yeah, you got to root for the home team, man. And so for me, I have Germany winning it for the Euro, and in my heart, I want the U.S. to win because just US. But do I think they're gonna win? Probably not. Their show out for the friendly matches wasn't the best, and Mexico even worse. They just weren't solid. They're not a solid squad right now. No disrespect to them. I love the Mexican national team too, but I'm gonna go for Colombia, man. Germany and Colombia. I just something about their style of play when I watched them. They were just very clean.
Yeah, I think the Euros. I think I'm leaning towards Germany as well. I would have said England, but they always find a way to lose somehow in the
I,
finals.
I just feel like this is going to be a year that Jude Bellingham is just that key factor that's going to help them win. But
Right.
we'll see.
We'll see.
That guy's a beast, man. Bellingham's a beast.
Mhm.
But England's like my Cowboys.
The foreign language here sometimes.
Now you know how I felt when we were talking about the NBA.
Yeah, there you go. No, but I mean, if I'm going to put any input here, I think I'll tag along with what Daniel mentioned. Germany, because I have a German last name, we'll just kind of roll with that. But sure, I always want US to try to do well, but mentioning Colombia, who beat them in the friendly and just kind of made them look, not nearly as good. Colombia, being the other one up there too. So, yeah, no, but hey, a reason to get into it and watch more and be more in tune for sure. I'm interested. It's more sports.
Yeah, more sports. That's what I did. I finally ended up getting cable because of this podcast because I'm like I need to watch more sports. Be on top of it. I
There you go.
watch a lot of clips and stuff and look at ESPN every day, but watching it's just a whole different experience and it's a lot better. So the same with soccer. World Cup's coming here in a few years, so we got to get ready.
Yeah. Maybe we should do like a blog where all of us go to a match out here.
Like I say,
I love that.
If FIFA is listening out there, hey, we're willing to be sideline reporters. Put it out there.
Yeah, promoters, whatever you want us to be,
Yes.
just get us on that field.
Yeah. Most of us are bilingual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Univision, Telemundo, aquí estamos también.
Yeah.
Yo hablo poquito español también. So. Canelo, hey.
But yeah. Well, it's our fantasy hour, just talking about fantasy. Like we mentioned last week, our last episode, we've been doing this league for so long, and we're still going to continue doing it. So, I think the one thing we wanted to bring this episode was the top 10. So, I think we'll all share our top 10s. We'll start at 10 and go to 1. But number 10, I have Jonathan Taylor as my number 10 pick.
I also have Jonathan Taylor as my 10th rated player.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll have a nice bounce back season.
That's what I think.
I got Jay Jettas as my number 10, only because of the quarterback.
Sneaking in there.
Quarterback.
And I have Saquon sneaking in there. I think going to Philly, great O-line there. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a big season.
I can do number 9. I have Garrett Wilson as number 9. Aaron Rodgers coming back. I feel like he's gonna have a crazy season this time. Well, at least I'm hoping. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. That's my plan. But yeah, I have Garrett Wilson, man.
I got Garrett Wilson as well.
Doesn't vulture.
Yeah, yeah. I got Garrett Wilson as my number 9 as well. I think he's always been a top player the last 2 years. Since he came into the league. With the bad quarterback play. So yeah, big thing. Aaron Rodgers just staying healthy. He could have a big season.
Also, Garrett Wilson, if you're listening, I'm still trying to get an autographed helmet from you.
Put that plug in now.
Right.
investment.
I can go next. I have AJ Brown as my number 9. Guy's pretty consistent. As long as he's healthy, he'll put up a top 10 performance.
I have Brees Hall here. Great RB talent, but I just have a feeling, you can kind of wait on a lot of RBs this year, but we'll see. But I got Brees at 9. And then coming around the turn, I guess I'll just take away with number 8. I have Puka here. I think it's going to be another high volume season for him. Kind of like in Puka, sneaking in the first round.
All right, at 8, I got Bijan Robinson. I think changing, coach, they got a QB. I think they're finally gonna. They saw towards the end of the season what he could do. That's why they used such a high draft pick on him, and they're gonna use him correctly. So I think he's gonna be big.
I like that too because he's a good receiver too.
Sure. And for that reason is why I also have Bijan at 8. I mean, after having Arthur Smith calling those plays and his terrible play calling, can't go wrong now that they have someone better. Hopefully he says he's supposed to have a CMC type role in the offense, so we'll see how it plays out. But I have high hopes for Bijan.
Yep.
I got Jonathan Taylor as mine. I think he's going to do great. I have him a little higher up, but can't go wrong with Jonathan Taylor, man.
At number 7, I got St. Brown. I'm on St. Brown. I think he's gonna have a good year. I think the Lions, what they did last season, they're gonna continue it. I could see them going to the Super Bowl, but yeah, I have him as my number 7.
And I have Jahmyr Gibbs as my number 7. I had him last year. Maybe I'm being a little biased, but I feel like his role is going to increase significantly based off of his outstanding performance last year. In my eyes, he killed it, man. And he was one of the reasons why they were so successful. Also, again, kind of like a Bijan, right? He can catch, he can run, he can do everything.
Absolutely. Kind of eased him into that role too. It's a good point. Next, for 7, I have Brock Purdy. No, sorry, Bijan Robinson here. No, Bijan, much to what you guys said, dual threat with, pass catching abilities along with running. I think with Kirk Cousins' offense, it could be a little bit more high flowing, and then new coaching there also. So
for 7, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know. I just feel like no matter what, he's always getting targets his way. No matter what the game script is, Goff always finds a way to get him the ball. So he'll for sure get his targets. He'll get his yards. And let me see, for what are we on, 6 now?
6, yeah.
Correct.
So looks like I might be the only one this high on this guy, but I got Brees Hall at 6. I just feel if Roger stays healthy, there'll be less stacked boxes for him, be more open lanes, and you'll be busting more big runs than he already does.
I was about to say, Fidel, we had a lot of the similar ones, but 6, I got Justin Jefferson. So I have a few people above him, but I still think he's going to put up numbers. Whoever his quarterback is, they don't have a running game. I think they're always going to play from behind. So he's going to get the targets. I think Jordan Addison's going to take a lot, but I think Jay Jettas is still going to get a good amount. And I think he's going to be the touchdown guy. That's what I see.
Regardless, I think he's just going to be a top 10 guy. If it's not in the top 10, man, you're crazy. Because that Addison guy is going to draw a lot of attention too, man. So I agree. But I had Nakua as mine. I had him pretty high up, right? Another one of those guys too. I feel maybe not like Jay Jetta's level just yet, right? He still has another season. Hopefully, as Tim mentioned last episode, it doesn't have a sophomore slump, right? But solid guy. I hope he continues his success. Just again, solid wide receiver.
And here I have Jamar Chase. Would put him, arguably a little bit higher, but kind of down on him because I'm kind of hesitant to see what, Burrow's going to do as well. So, even though Jamar, performed decently, right, without Burrow being there, but yeah, just kind of feel comfortable putting him there at 6.
At 5, I have AJ Brown. I love the guy. Very solid wide receiver again. Hopefully he can keep that dynamic going. But yeah, no, I love his play style, and just an all around great receiver.
For sure. At 5, I have Amon-Ra. I just think that offense is only getting better. Goff has proven that he's kind of back to where he was with the Rams. So yeah, definitely think he's going to be a high performer this year.
For me at 5, I have Jay Jettas. I do think he will be. I mean, the quarterback play will be a little bit down, but like John said, they will most likely be playing from behind a lot, which means they're going to be throwing it, and some of those targets have to go to him. And he's always one play away from making a big play. So I got Jay Jettas at 5.
Right, was that 6 or no? Yeah, 5.
I think that was 5.
That was 5.
Yeah, so I got to do my 5. So at 5, I got Brees Hall. I'm gonna say I have him high up there because I think this is a big year for him. Aaron Rodgers, as long as he stays healthy, yeah, like Fidel mentioned, for him at 6, I think he's going to be putting up big numbers. So I got him at 5. And then at 4, I got CD Lamb. It's the Cowboys. They're always going to be playing from behind, I feel like, and he's going to be
most of the
time. He showed it last year. He has big playability. He's just a monster, at the wide receiver position. So he came up a lot for me from last year. So I got CD Lamb at 4.
And my number 4, sorry, Tim.
No, all you.
Would be Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm big on that guy. I actually love that guy. He's just this is last year, the year before that, right? He's just a solid wide receiver. I love what he's about. This is kind of like LeBron, right? You hear a lot of things that he does for the community. So, but aside from that, and strictly just for fantasy, I think he's just a solid guy. And as Tim said, that team is just getting better and better all around. So my money's on that guy.
For sure. I have Tyreek next at 4. The speed's still there. Gonna be, high flowing offensive team. So arguably a little low on Tyreek, but I think he'll just do Tyreek things again this year.
Let's see, and then for my number 4, I got Jamar Chase. I feel like with Burrow being back, I think he's going to be on his little revenge tour to come back and just light it up. As you can see, he's joining the dark side, as I said, with his new Anakin Skywalker inspired hairstyle that he has going on. For me personally, I just think he ripped off Herbert's hair flow. Hey, but now Herbert has the short hair like Burrow used to, so they just traded hair, But yeah, I think with Burrow being back, it's going to help him out a lot. He did struggle a lot with the backup quarterback last year as far as making the big explosive plays. But I think with Burrow being there, he'll definitely help him out. Burrow is always like super comfortable with him on the field, and he always seems to find him open all the time. So that'll definitely help out Jamar's fantasy stock. And then are we ready for number 3?
Yep.
All right. For me at number 3, I got Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's Tyreek Hill. You just give the man the ball pretty much anywhere, and he has the capability of taking it for a touchdown. And as long as the offensive line can keep 2 up, he'll be good. He'll be solid.
Yeah. To go into that at 3, I also got Tyreek Hill. I think he's always going to be one of the top ones. He showed it last year, what he could do. I think he would have broken records if he didn't get injured and had some pretty bad games down the stretch. he could have set a lot of records, but I think Miami, they're getting it under their belt. So I think Tua is also getting a better understanding on how to play with Tyreek. So I think that's gonna help this year. So I got him at 3.
All right. And my number 3 is Jamar Chase. And similar to what Fidel said, comeback year for Joe Burrow, he's going to be like, hey, this is what I got. And, the chemistry between those two is incredible. Like, catch them on a good day, and they're just going to take off. So I think his stock with Joe Burrow being back, the chemistry that they have, the dynamic of the team is a lot stronger with Burrow behind it. So I have him at number 3.
Perfect. My number 3, I have Justin Jefferson here. I think he's still going to be a top performer regardless at who's at QB. Yeah, I just think all the talent in the world's there. Have an indoor stadium. I feel like that kind of helps with weather. It's kind of weatherproof. I mean, clearly, and that's always a big factor in the passing games if there's bad weather. So, but yeah, I think all the talent in the world's there with Jefferson. And then heading into number 2, I think you're gonna love this, Danny. CD Lamb coming in all the way at number 2 for me. I just think he's just a reception vulture. Any type of PPR league, I think he's gonna put up humongous numbers. Dallas gonna have a losing season this year, as I
That's
predict.
a lie.
Fidel feels the same. I know
I do.
we're in this
Yeah.
together, Fides. So but again, any type of PPR league, he's going to put up ginormous numbers. So yep, CD at number 2.
To piggyback off of that, I also have CD Lamb at number 2, number 88. That's my guy. I'm still chasing your autograph too. but no, yeah, like you said, man, dynamic of the team is good. Him and Dak have good chemistry, although sometimes he wants the ball a lot more. Things happen, but no, he's a solid player, great guy. Last season, I think there was like a few games where he put up like 50 plus points. Insane, dude. So rooting for the guy, rooting for the Cowboys. Yeah, CD Lamb, number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I also have CD at 2. I'm like, who else do they have that is consistent on their team? I mean, I don't even know who their
Juice
wide receiver
WAN?
2 is at the moment. I don't know who their wide receiver 2 is at the moment. So yeah, he's gonna get peppered with targets. He'll be putting up big numbers. As long as he stays healthy, they'll have a chance to win games. Yeah, but the running game at the moment doesn't look too great for them. But we never know. Like maybe Deuce Vaughn could get some play, and he could be the next Darren Sproles, like you guys say.
There it is. There it is.
Yes,
Glad
we're
you
waiting
said
for
it.
that.
Glad you said it.
We're waiting for that. The crazy thing is that they have Deuce Vaughn at number 3 running back. They have Elliott as RB1. Insane. But yeah, so they have
Elliott
Turpin as wide receiver 2.
Elliott did do something in New England when he did play. He still showed that big playability. So I can see why they want him back. If they get the old Zeke, you guys will be happy. You guys aren't going to complain about it. So
yeah, again, yeah. I love the guy. My kid's middle name is Ezekiel. So
we'll just put that Salvation Army pot in the bag.
Get your giant spoon out there and start eating.
Yep.
So my number 2, different than all of you, I got Jamar Chase. So we sort of talked about it. Revenge tour. I think this is going to be a big year for him. I would have had him lower if T. Higgins didn't sign. T. Higgins signing his deal, I think, just solidifies that he's going to be a big target. T. Higgins, always a dangerous receiver, going to get a lot of looks. So it's still going to keep, Jamar Chase open. Because I think if T. Higgins would have signed elsewhere, it would have been a tough year because he would have been double, triple coverage. So, and yeah, I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. My little thumbnail for fantasy, Joe Burrow, LSU, smoking that cigar after winning the national championship. That's how I felt winning it, a few years in a row. So, but yeah, Jamar Chase is my number 2. And then, going into number one, I think we're all on the same number one player, CMC.
Yes, sir.
I don't know,
CMC.
man. I got Austin Eckler as number one. Nah,
Let
man,
us know when you wake
CMC.
up, please. Let us know when you wake up.
He's built for speed these days, right? Fidel?
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So built for speed. He got let go and signed with the Commanders. Yeah, but
Speed demon.
CMC will definitely be the guy. Like as long as he stays healthy, he should be a no-brainer who the number one will be by the end of the year.
Mhm.
Unless somehow Mostert has the wild season like he did last year.
Mostert or his other buddy,
A-Chain.
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 Yeah, A-Chain
Yeah.
took off, dude.
Either of those guys could, because the way that offense in Miami
Mm-hmm.
comes up, one of them could end up being the guy, especially with the way McDaniels runs it.
Nice.
And for Jamar Chase, kind of going back to that, yeah, with T Higgins signing, I think it was like almost 22 million, right, in the franchise tag.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, insane. So yeah, he's gonna get a lot of targets.
Yeah.
But CMC, monster. He's a monster. You're one lucky guy, Tim.
Yeah, no, I mean, the trade that we made to get him obviously has proven to be a success. Just got to finish it out and win that Super Bowl, and we'll see if we'll do it this year. But yeah, regardless, yeah, I think he's going to be an absolute stud. I think that there's no question with it. Just see if the curse is enacted this year. But if not,
let's not even speak on that, man. That's just
yeah. What am I doing? I don't know.
yeah.
Reverse psychology.
Come on, you guys got to stop the Chiefs from three-peating.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Mahomes already has enough rings. Let him go a year or two.
It brought Purdy one. If anything, man, CMC, yeah, he deserves one. But I just love the way Brock Purdy is, so composed. He needs a ring, man. He's shown up and shown out, and he needs to. He's kind of like the Jason Tatum right now, right? He's been in a couple championships. He needs to win, man.
For sure. He's already, better than players like Herbert. So, just the ring will be that final little cherry on top for all the naysayers, Fidel.
What? All I'll say is if you guys had Herbert, you would have won a ring already.
I do have a question though. Where now with Derrick Henry on the Ravens, where would you guys place him on the list of top 100?
Top 100?
Or that's far fetched, right? But just
79.
I was gonna say 80, but okay.
No, man, they do run the ball a lot, so they're a run first team. So he'd probably be in my top 10 running backs, maybe like 7 or 8 overall.
Would you say like second,
overall,
third
probably
round?
I said late second, early third.
Yeah, that's right. I kind of had him second round, third.
Like a 14-team league.
Yeah,
like ours.
But it all depends, man. In our league, sometimes people go on runs of a certain position all at once, and the fear creeps in, and everybody just ends up taking the same position for like a good 4 or 5 picks in a row.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our top 10 overall. So like I say, this is as of, not even preseason. So for us, it could still change depending on, what happens between now and the first preseason game. But I think most of the time we always keep it pretty similar or keep it the same. So yeah. Next for Fantasy Hour, what's the best app for daily fantasy in California? What do you guys like to use? I've always been FanDuel, but I've always seen all these other, apps to do some, it's not sports betting, but it's more daily fantasy, over unders, what is it? Better, Underdog. There's many, but what do you guys like? Yeah, Prize Picks. Like, what do you guys like to use? And do you guys use multiple stuff?
For me, I've solely played on FanDuel, and a big part of that is the constant credits I get. Always nice to have, play, quarter nickel fantasy lineups. I've won a couple and won a couple hundred. I think I won 2 tournaments in one day and totaled up to like $400. So that was great. And then you just leave a little bit in there and then just keep recycling. I think right now I'm playing with like $1.60. But it'll tide me over. But yeah, it's fun, that's the aspect I really like is that you can play for so cheap and still have that fun, fantasy element of creating a roster that you don't have in like in a main league. But yeah, I've had a lot of success there and, I've enjoyed that app altogether.
I'm the same as you, Tim. FanDuel all the way for nickel, quarter. I can watch a game. That's also kind of what helped me get back into basketball, right? It's like, all right, well, let me identify a couple players that I think might do good and kind of go off from there and just learn the sport more and finally figure out what a triple double was about a year ago. So I was so blind to the game, but it's brought me back. It's cheap. I haven't really won much. I probably at a nickel, I probably won like $1. But hey, like you said, it keeps you playing for another month or two before I have to re-up. And $5 probably lasts me like 3 months. So
Right. I'll continue and go with the boring answer and say FanDuel as well. It's just easy. You get a lot of, like Tim said, you do get a lot of credits, a lot of free plays sometimes every once in a while. And it just keeps me there, I think last football season, like at the first week, I won like $80 for week 1, and then I just used that and that was from a free game, and I just used that to bet the rest of the season.
Nice. Yeah, I'm the same. I've always done FanDuel. I want to try one of the other ones, the over-unders, just to sort of see how it is. I know that sort of gets into like some of that sports betting type thing, on players and how they do. But yeah, FanDuel's always been my go-to.
What are the apps for those over-unders? I haven't explored much on those.
Like Underdog, I think they do that.
Yeah.
Price Picks is solely over under.
Price Picks, yeah.
I have that downloaded, but have not deposited anything. But I've kind of ventured through the app, and it seems very easy to use, kind of fun. Yeah.
And is it allowed here in California?
It is because it's like a strategy based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or skill, I think is what they say.
Yeah, it's daily fantasy.
Hopefully
it's not
soon.
like sports betting. So, but yeah, and then
Yeah,
I
hopefully
think
soon California changes some rules.
hopefully, yes, I hope so. It'd be
Let's
fun.
do it.
After
Everybody-
that last ballot measure didn't look close at all, man.
No, it didn't.
They got
It was misconstrued though. I
Like,
feel like
nah.
the wording was off.
Yep. They done messed up, man. They could have brought in a lot of tax money into the state.
So I think down the line it'll get approved, but could just be a few years. But
yeah, I mean, it's already approved in so many states. Arizona being like predominant one. I always, whenever I go to Arizona, for sure hop on FanDuel or any of those like sports betting apps and bet for the games.
Well, and
Try
to quickly tag along with that thought too. I don't know if they've done it already, but in states where they have legalized it, I know it's been part of the discussion of putting, betting screens at seats or in certain sections, to place bets throughout the game. And I think that's a really cool concept. Dangerous game. But hey, it's
Only
entertaining
bet
to
what
say
you
the
can
least.
afford.
Exactly. Smart money. Yep.
I think John brought that up last week too. Only bet what you can afford, please.
That's it.
All right. I think the last thing for Fantasy Hour that we have is weekly NFL pick'ems. I think once the season starts, we'll start doing our own weekly pick'em for each game and look at our records, see who has a better record by the end of the year. I think we're all pretty knowledgeable, but I think it'll be interesting to see if we all stick to the same picks or, some of us try to go off of the norm.
I'll throw a curveball. If whoever has the most picks out of you three, I'll let you guys pick something out of my collection.
Oh,
I know Fidel got a Portis jersey out of it
I
one
did.
season.
I have it here somewhere next to me. I just still gotta frame it and hang it up.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
Portis. I know. I remember we did that last year during the playoffs. It was pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think Tim ended up beating me by like a game.
yeah, it came close down to the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fun.
I think I did
Tough
the
to do.
worst out of all of us.
I think that was me because I think I
Oh, that
just
was
Yeah,
you?
like I just went for like some underdog. So
You went against the grain.
yeah. So all right, cool.
All right.
But yeah, but that's the happy hour, huddle for this episode. Next week, I don't know. What do you guys think? We can rank our top 10 QBs or top 7 QBs. There's only a few that are really in the top. The rest are sort of just hit or
Maybe
miss.
like top
So
5.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think top 10 QB sounds great. I think Fidel was interested in doing top 10 hair for players.
Top 10 hair QBs.
Herbert and Burrow at the top,
I think
Hey, Trevor Lawrence,
Lawrence has better
man.
flow,
Trevor
bro.
Oh,
Lawrence.
T.
Has better
Law, yeah, he's
flow,
up
J-Law.
More majestic when it blows in the wind.
there.
My sleeper for that one would be Gardner Minshew, though.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
That's a
but
good
Yeah.
point.
yeah, man.
Or in the words of Max Crosby, that little boy.
Right?
Yeah.
How funny that they're now teammates.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, well, we'll do top 10 QBs, and for all our listeners, if you guys want us to rank something specific, just let us know in the comments. We're always willing to rank whatever you guys want to hear about, sports wise, anything. We're just a group of friends. I think we do that for fun sometimes. So, we're willing to
Oh,
do
yeah.
it with you guys. And then, let us know also about your guys's, top 10 overall, compared to us. Where do you guys think we made a mistake? What would you guys do differently? What do you guys see? So, because like I say,
Call
hey,
us
maybe,
out.
yeah, that might help us make better decisions when it comes down to our fantasy draft.
100%. Yeah, any sleepers out there, let us know.
I'll say honorable mention for the top 10 is Brock Purdy.
Honorable mention? Unbelievable. Oh,
Just yanking your
that's
chain,
it.
bro.
Herbert's below 20 in my book.
It's fine.
Unbelievable.
Hey, man.
I have Herbert
Maybe
at
it'll be
Ball
32.
likes to run.
Maybe they'll be running so much, and you never know, right?
That's right. Maybe he'll go back to his Oregon days. Start
Right.
running more.
Yeah, but no,
As long
yeah,
as,
thank you.
as long as it's like that Rose Bowl game, man, I'll take it.
That's right.
Awesome.
That was fun, gents.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was
Always a
fun
pleasure.
time, fellas. To our viewers, remember, subscribe, like, comment on our page. Let us know what you're liking, what you're not, and also follow our happy hour social media pages that are linked, all below. So, fellas, it
Not
was a
our
fun.
TikTok, 'cause
Don't do it.
And TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. If you're
Banned for no
listening,
reason.
please respond to us on why we
They don't
got
like
banned.
us.
We have no idea what we did wrong. We're just here
Still
trying to
no idea.
promote, talk about sports, fun time.
We used no profanity. We were clean. Let us
100%.
let us do our thing. Stop censoring us.
I guess we can't talk about Spider-Man.
But yeah,
But yeah, no, let us know. Be specific with the band.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, thank you guys, and yeah, we'll see you guys next episode.
All right.
Good night, y'all.
All right. Good night, everybody.